Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy learning. So today we are going to talk about again decorators, but it's class decorators. Okay, so in the previous videos we have learnt many things about decorators. So this would be the last topic. Okay, this would be the last video of the decorators. So let's see how to use the class decorators. Okay, so let me give you the first a simple example of the decorator. Okay, that we although we have done many examples, okay, in the previous videos, but let's start with the simple one. So let me define one function, okay, that is def, okay, deco, fine, and as usual func I am going to use over here, fine. Next is def, our favorite one, inner, okay. Then after that I am going to use string1 is equal to func, okay, great. Then after that I am going to return string1 dot uppercase. So I think you understood what I am going to do with this. I am going to convert my original function to the uppercase. Okay, so this would be the decorator, okay, for my original function, that is going to convert it into uppercase letters. Great. So let's return inner here. Okay, so next is, so let's define the original function too. Okay, def, let's write here greet and return. What is to be returned? Okay, small letter, huh? Hi, hey, hi buddy, good morning. Great. So next I'm going to print. What is to be print now? Greet. Okay, fine. So let's see, let me call my deco. Let me call my deco so that it can perform the, this would be my original function, okay, and this would be my decorator function. Clear? I hope this is clear to you. So let's run and check the output. Great, it is working. It is completing its job. Hi buddy, good morning, and converting the original function into the uppercase. Now, we have learnt in the previous video that we can give multiple names to our function. What if I write here dot, okay, name, fine, and now if I run, what do you think? What would be the output here? You'll say, ma'am, I think it would be hi buddy, good morning, same as it is. Is it so? So let's run and check the output. Oh, it is saying inner. Now what has happened? It is returning the name of the function. This name. It is returning the name of the function because decorators hide some data of original function like name, docstring, parameters, list, and adding the functionality. If we want to print the original function name, okay, if I want to print the original function name, now what I told you that this is my original function. So what is the name of this function? That is greet. If I want to print the name of this function, okay, then what is to be done? Okay, for that case I have to use function tools wrap. Okay, we need to import the function tool like func tool. So let's see how to do that. Okay, again I'll write here import func tools Okay, func tools, and after that, yes, of course, I have to use the decorator, that is func tools dot wraps. Okay, and func. Okay, so let's see, is something had happened or not, or we are writing like you, huh? So let's see. Yes, it is giving me the name of the original function, that is greet. Okay, I hope this is clear to you, how to have the name of the original function here. So this is the small, you can say this is the small example. This is the small example. Okay, so what is the job of this one, this decorator? What is the job of this? This decorator is copying the lost data from the undecorated function or the original function to the decorator closure. Okay, so earlier it was not giving me the name of the original function, this one it was not giving us, it was returning inner. So if I want to print the name of the original function, I have to do these two steps over here. Okay, I hope this is clear to you now. Now let's move to the another example without wasting time. Yes, because we have to understand the class decorators too. Okay. Now we have seen about decorators. Now let's move forward with Python classes and objects. We know that Python is an object-oriented programming language. Almost everything in Python is an object with its properties and methods, and a class also help us to construct objects, or we can say that it acts like a blueprint for creating the objects. So here we will see how to create a simple class first of all. Okay, then afterwards we will learn about the objects, how to use the init function, okay, object methods. Let's see. So let's take a class like colors. So we have to take a class color, simple. Okay, simply. Then after that, let's assign the value. I'll say x is equal to black. Yes. So after that, what I have to do? I have to simply print. Okay, I'll say print my class name, print colors. Let's save. After that, save and let's run and have the output here. Okay, so now what we have done, we simply created a class by using the keyword class. Okay, so my class name is here colors with the property the named x. Okay, so here I am taking the variable x, that is the property. Okay, so after that we will talk about objects, how to create the objects by class. Okay, so we will use the class named, okay, that is colors only. So let's see to create the object. Okay, so let me copy that. Let's copy and paste it. Okay, let's do the changes now. Okay, so I simply have created here class x, value is already given. Now I am creating the object C here. C is the object. Okay, then after taking my class name, fine, then the parenthesis, fine. After that I will say that print, what is to be printed here? My object name, that is C dot the defined variable x here. So let's save and run, have a output what we have done. So we can say, okay, so you can see the output is black here, fine. So what we have done, basically we have created a object named C, okay, and it will print the value of X here in the output window. Fine. I hope this is clear to you how to create an object. Fine. Now let's move forward. Now we will talk about how to use init function. Okay, so init function, what is it actually? The init function is called automatically every time the class is being used to create a new object. Fine. So all classes have a function called init, which is always executed when the class is being initiated. Fine. So init function function is used to assign the values to the object properties, like we have done in the above example. What we have done, we have created the object C over there, okay, and we have assigned the value, that color class name, to it. Fine. So let's see here also how we can use the init function. Fine. So let's again have a class. Okay, let me copy it from the above example only. Okay, so let's copy and paste it here. Fine. So let's do the changes here. What we have to do now, class colors, now we have to define here init function. Okay, def init, then parenthesis self, okay, self comma, I'll say here color. Fine. Color name, favorite color, not color name, let's talk about the favorite color over here. Okay, so after that what I have to do, I have to use self dot self parameter, okay, dot favorite color is equal to favorite color. Fine, is equal to favorite color. Okay, now what we need, object. Okay, so let's create an object here. So it's let's take object C only. C is equals to, okay, let me take this. C is equals to my class name, okay, and I will write here the value, my the favorite color value, that is black. Okay, so that is to be written over here. Fine. After that what I have to do, simple again, print, okay, C dot favorite color. Yes. Now let me save and run. Let's check the value answer over here in the output window. Okay, so it is giving me black. Upper one black is of upper code and the last black is of the init function one. Okay, so let me comment it out. Okay, great. So what is happening over here now? I hope it is clear to you what we have done basically. Okay, so init function is called automatically every time when the class is being used to create a new object. Okay, so I hope this much is clear to you now. Fine. And also init function is used to assign the values to the object parameters. Now we will talk about object methods. Okay, how to create the object basically. So objects also have the methods. Methods in objects are the function that belong to the object. Okay, so we will learn here we have used here self parameter also. So what is that? Basically, self parameter is a reference to the current instance of the class. Yes, we will talk about current instance also. So let's see first of all how to create the object methods. Okay, so here we have to insert the function that will print. Okay, that will print our first of all let me copy. Okay, fine. Now let me declare here def, that is my method name. Okay, so let me take print name, print color. Okay, so print color, then parenthesis. Fine, I'll say here self. Self is a parameter here that we are using as a reference to the current instance that I told you. Now I'll say print. What is to be printed here? Okay, hi buddy, or I can say hi, my favorite color is, yes. Okay, then plus what is to be written? Self dot favorite color. Yes, favorite color here. Okay, so we already have one, object is already here with us. Now what we have to do, we have to change the print here. Okay, print function at the last. So here I will write C, my object name, C dot my method name. Okay, that is print underscore color, then parenthesis. Let's save and run. Great, it is saying hi, my favorite color is black. So it is telling us, so we can do, okay, we can simply use the object methods in this way here. Okay, so what we have done, we inserted a function that will print, okay, that will print a greeting and execute it on the which object? C object. Fine, I hope this much is clear to you now. So we talked about the self parameter also. Fine, and self parameter, one more thing, it is used to assess the variables that belong to the class. Okay, so one more thing we can say that if it does not have to be named self, yes, of course we can write some other name also instead of writing here self. Okay, like if you don't want to write here self, so you can write here my colors. Okay, anything you can write here instead of writing the self parameter. Fine, now we will talk about how to modify the object properties. Okay, means how to change the object property. Means here I am saying that my favorite color is black, but what if I want to change it to red? So what I'll do, I will simply write here my object name dot favorite color is equals to, I'll say red this time. Yes, let's make it favorite, huh? Okay, red. Okay, let's save and check, is it changing or not? Okay, we have to write here also print, we have to do the changes, print C dot favorite color. So you will see what will happen now, it will display red in the output window. Yes, of course. Okay, so this is how we can modify the properties on the objects. Fine. Now next is how to delete the object properties. We can, yes, as we have modified it, yes, of course we can delete the properties also. Okay, by using the delete keyword, del keyword basically. Okay, so like if I say here delete what, black. So let's see, del, then C, del dot, sorry, del C dot, I'll say favorite color. Okay, so let's see what it is trying to do now. Clear the window. Let's see now. Okay, it is saying color object has no attribute favorite color because we have deleted it. Okay, so this is how it works. Fine. Now the next thing we have to use, we can use a pass statement also. You know, class definitions cannot be empty, but if you for some reason have a class definition with no content, okay, so we can put it in the pass statement to avoid getting an error. Okay, so yes, we can use it also. Fine. So next, so let's talk about now inheritance. The inheritance word, you know, I have used in the self parameter while using that. So what is it basically? So inheritance means to have some properties from their main class. Okay, so we can say here inherit all the methods and the properties from another class. You know, if we take the example of parent and child, so child obviously inherit the properties from the parents only. So same here, we have the two types of classes, parent class and the child class. So what is parent class? Parent class is basically that class it is being inherited from, means from it the properties are going to be inherited. So it is also known as base class. Child class is that class that inherit from another class, that is also known as derived class. So side by side I have commented out the program, already written program that we have done earlier. Okay, so we will now talk about basically how to create a parent class. Okay, you know, any class can be a parent class. Fine. So the syntax is the same as creating any other class. So we will create a class named student or employee, we can say. Okay, with first name and last name properties. Okay, let's see, class employee. Okay, so again use def init function. Okay, so I will write here self comma f name l name. Okay, okay, now of course we have to use a self parameter self dot, let me delete it first. Okay, so let's see, self dot first name is equal to f name. Okay, yes, self dot first name is equal to f name. Okay, and self dot last name is equal to L name. Okay, the parameters that I have passed over here. Okay, I have defined the function. Okay, now again let's define the method over here. Def print employee info. Okay, so employee info bracket parenthesis, then self, then I will print self dot first name. Let's print self dot first name comma self dot last name. Okay, so yes, self dot last name. Okay, so next we are using the employee class to create an object. Okay, then execute the print employee info method. So we need to have the object also, that means. So let's have an object over here. Yes, this is the method. Okay, so I'll say E. Okay, let me write down the sentence for the reference. We are using the employee class to create an object and then execute the print underscore employee info method. Okay, okay, so let's move forward then. Let's have an object E is equal to my class name, that is employee bracket. I'll pass the values. Okay, so here I'll write here name Kanha, then last name. Okay, wait a minute, let me change it. I will write here Radha Krishna. Okay, so here Radha is first name and then comma Krishna. Yes, my deities. Yo. Okay, so after that I'll say E dot my method name, that is print underscore employee info parenthesis, run, and have the output. I wish it should Radha Krishna. Yes, great. So this is how we have created the parent class. Now what if we have to create the child class? So what is child class? That will inherit the functionality, okay, from another class and send the parent class as a parameter when creating the child class. So here we will see, okay, how to do that. So we will create a class named already done, that is employee. Okay, that will inherit child. Okay, I'll create child class which will inherit the properties and methods from which one? Employee class. Okay, so let's do that also. Fine, so I'll use the pass keyword here, which when you do not want to add any other property or methods to the class. Fine, so let's see the example. Okay, I'm writing here child class. Yes. So let's create class child. Okay, and then name is employee, parent name. Okay, so here pass. Fine. Okay. Now the child class has the same properties and methods as the employee class. Fine. So it is also displaying Radha Krishna. Fine. Now we will talk about what? How to add the init function. Okay, now we have created a child class. Okay, let me clear. That will inherit the properties and methods from the parent. Fine. So init function, we know that is called automatically every time the class is being used to create a new object. So let's add the init function to the child class. Okay, so what we will do here, let's see. Okay, so let's see here. Let's define the init function. Init, okay, parenthesis self, comma, f name and l name. Okay, then I will use my employee. Okay, the class name employee dot init, then self comma f name l name. Okay, so this is what we have to do. So after doing this, we will be successful for adding the init function and keep the inheritance of the parent class. We are ready to add the functionality in the init function. Okay, so we will see here how to do that. Okay, so let me write down employee dot init parenthesis self dot f name self comma, not dot. Yes. Okay, done. Paste. Okay, let's save and run and have the output. Fine. Now what we have to do, I have to do the changes here. I have to write here my child class name. Okay. Fine. So E is equal to child. So I'm getting the output here. That is Radha Krishna. Great. Now we have the super function also with us. So that will make the child class inherit all the methods and properties from its parent. Fine. If you do not have to use the name of the parent element, so it will automatically inherit the methods and properties from its parent. Okay, let's see here. Let me replace this employee with super. Okay, super, then parenthesis. Okay, let me remove this dot. Fine. So by using the Python also having a super function, I already told you. So what it is saying, positional argument but 4 were given. There is some problem. Yes, let's see there. Okay, I have to remove this F name, last name. Okay.
Fine. So let me clear the window and then see. Okay. So let me add something more here. That is, let's take the birthday. Okay, so self dot birthday is equal to, I have to define here. Okay, what I am doing now, I am simply adding. Okay, I'm adding the property over here. So I'm adding the property called birthday to the which one, child class. Okay, so I'm saying here August, month name August. Okay, and I have to do the changes in the above also. Okay, then I will say here August F name. Fine. Now let's add another parameter to the init function. Okay, because we are passing the August month, birthday month. Fine. So we have to add it in the init function also, that parameter. Fine. So what we have done, we have add a birthday parameter and pass the correct month when creating the object. And run, we had the output, that is August. Now how to add the methods, we will talk about the methods here. So let's add a method called welcome to the which class? Employee class. No, to the child class, not the employee, to the child class. Okay, if you add a method in the child class with the same name as a function in the parent class, the inheritance of the parent method will be overridden. Okay, so let's see here how to add the method. I'll say here okay, let's define welcome. Then this is my method, I'm adding the method here. Okay, then def method parenthesis self def welcome parenthesis, then I'll write here self. Okay, so after that we'll write here print. Okay, let me do the changes. Okay, print, then parenthesis welcome, comma, self dot first name, comma, self dot last name, and I say to the Vrindavan in the month of in the month of what? Self dot birthday. Okay, so the same thing I'm going to write over here as I am writing. I was simply making the sentence in the mind. Okay, to the okay, Vrindavan. Yes, in the month of what? Simple. Okay, self dot birthday. So we will save it and run it. Let's see what would be the output here. Interesting output. I'm simply writing it. Oh, do the changes. Fine. Okay, now after that it's done. Save. Okay, I have to say here e dot welcome parenthesis. Okay, so what will happen? Welcome Radha Krishna to the Vrindavan in, I hope this would be the output that I'm trying to do here, to the Vrindavan in August. Yes, exactly, I got it. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, great. So this is about how to add the methods. Okay, clear? So this is how we have learnt many things today: parent class, child class, super, how to add the properties, how to delete the properties, how to modify the properties, object property basically, how to use the init function over here. Okay, I'm using the self parameter. We talked about pass keyword also, class keyword also. Fine. And the finally in the end we have done add method. Okay, I hope this is clear to you.
So now let's talk about call method. We know that when instance is called in the function form, then call function will execute. So let's see how to define the call method over here. Let's take the class that is printing class. Okay, let's take that class. Okay, so after that, okay, first let me type printing. Okay, now let's define init def init bracket self dot name. Okay, let me erase this. Self dot comma name, not dot. Okay, yes, then self dot name is equal to name that we are doing as earlier. Okay, so now here what I'll do, basically I will define the method. Okay, I'll define here method that is print name. Yes, then I'll say self in braces. Okay, in the parenthesis, then I say print, yes, parenthesis, entered name is entered, okay, name is self dot name. Okay, so after that I'll take the object that is self dot name. Okay, so let's take an object now. P is equal to printing. Okay, P is equal to printing my class name. Okay, and after that I am writing here Ruhi. Then after that I say P dot print underscore name, then parenthesis. Okay, okay, then save. Oh, I got the error. I think, oh yes, there is a mistake in the spellings. Let me correct that. Printing. Yes, this one. Okay, fine. So here P is the object. Okay, instance of the class. Fine. If suppose I'm simply writing over there P parenthesis, so it will raise the error and it will say P is not the callable. So here instead of using print underscore name method, I can simply use the call method also. That is a special method that I told you. Okay, so for that we'll see another example also. Okay, printing P print. Okay, save and run. It is saying printing object has no attribute. Okay, fine. So we can use here call method instead of writing print underscore name. Okay, so that one is a special method. Fine. Now let me change here also, do the changes. Print, yes, so here I'll write P dot name. Okay, when I'll run this and we'll get the output Ruhi. Okay, yes, you can see here. Fine.
So next we will use here, we will take the another example. Fine, that is the uppercase decorator that we already done. Huh? It's saying p dot. Okay, if I will write like this, it will say printing object is not callable. That I told you, it will raise an error. Okay, fine. So let's have an example. Okay, okay, now comment it out, and let's move to the another example of uppercase decorators that we have done in recently when we started the video, this one. Okay, there we have taken the example of uppercase decorator. You know, we have defined the function decorator, then we have written few statements. Now here what we will do, we will simply, what we will do, we will simply write here the class decorator. Okay, so I am defining deco function, def same inner. Okay, then I'll say str string 1 is equal to func. Yes, so after that I'll say return string 1 dot upper. Yes, okay, then we were doing the return inner. Okay, so let's return inner. Now what we have to do, see earlier we were doing this using this method. Okay, but now what we'll do, we'll use the class decorator instead of writing this. Fine, so let's see that how to do. Okay, so let's define one class here. Okay, that is class. So we are erasing this. Okay, so let's define the class. We will not use that. Okay, so we will define here class. Okay, first of all I'll write down greeting. Okay, that whatever I have to decorate. Okay, I'll define that. So I'm writing here greetings, return, I can say happy learning. Okay, then I'll say print, what I have to print, greeting. Okay, yes, print greeting, then parenthesis, printing, print greeting. Oh, greet, I have written greet here. Greeting, yes. Okay, so what is this? It is giving me simply output. Fine. So now what I want to do, I want to decorate it. I want my this happy learning in the uppercase. So for that we have to define the class decorator. I'm not using the previous method that I should written over here. Okay, so let's define here at the rate deco, then class, let me give space. Okay, let me have the space here. Class, then deco, parenthesis, oh sorry, colon, then def, init, self, yes, init, then self, comma, func, as usual that we are taking here. Okay, func, then I'll say self dot func is equal to func. Okay, self dot func is equals to func. Okay, then after that I'll use your call method now. Okay, so I'll say def call underscore call, then self, parenthesis self. Okay, then after that string 1 is equal to self dot func. Okay, fine, and I'll say return string1 dot upper parenthesis. So now this will be the decorator that is going to decorate my happy learning. Okay, so this is a simple use of class decorator. Okay, let me reduce the space. Fine. Okay. You can see the output happy learning in uppercase now. Okay, so this is how we can use a class decorator. Okay, we can use a class decorator here. Now we will take the another example over here of division function, that is also we already done. Okay, so for that we will write decorator using class. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's write down decorator using function. Fine, so division function that we already done also in the previous videos. So let's define div. Okay, x comma y. Fine, then return x divided by y. Then I'll say print div. I'll pass the parameters here. I have to give the space. Yes, so let's type print div. Okay, let's pass the parameter. So 10 comma 20 I have passed over here. When I will save this, and I'm getting the answer 0.5 because I'm dividing 10 by 20 here. Now if I write here 0, we know that it will raise the arrow, division by 0 error. Yes, of course, it will raise the error. Okay, so you can see here it is raising an error, division by 0. Okay, so what if now what I have to do? Yes, if I have to define here one class, okay, that is check underscore div, means if now I have to check which value is 0 after the first one. Okay, this also we have done already done in the previous videos. Okay, so def in itself comma func, then I'll write here self dot func is equal to func. Then again I'll use the call method def call. Then now what I have to supposed to use args and quarks here because I'm using more than one parameters. Okay, so I can use more than one parameters. Self comma args and then quarks. Quarks, yes. So we are using here args and quarks that will give us list of arguments. Okay, we are using more than one inputs. Then fine. So here, so let's write down if, because we have to check, definitely we have to use a if statement. If args then 1, okay, so is equal to 0. Yes, colon. Then it has to return what it has to return here, that it has to return the message. You can say you cannot divide, change the input. Okay, you can't divide, change your input. Okay, if we got the first position for first index number 0, suppose first index number is 0 in the list, then it has to display this message that you can't divide, change the input. Fine, so after that, otherwise what it has to do, self dot func args comma quarks. Okay, Yes, args comma quarks here. Yes. Okay. Okay, so let's see arcs comma quarks. Then after that what I'll say, I will simply use at check div decorator over here. Okay, fine. So def div 1, so simply we will write here our the part that has to be evaluate def div1 x comma y comma z, then return, we have to pass the parameters here, so I can return x comma y, yes, slash z. Okay, so after the div2 I'll write a, okay, let me write here a comma b comma c, and then it will also return a divided by b divided by c. Okay, yes, so then I have to use a print statement. So print statement div, I have to pass the parameters over here, div1, okay, 10 comma 0 if I am writing this, then okay, 1 yes, I forgot. Then after that come to the next line, 3 parameters I have to pass here na, 10 comma, yes, 0 comma 5. Next print div2 dev2, I have to pass the parameters here, the values, so I'll write here 10 comma 5 0. Okay, so here I have to write dev, I can use one more dev, okay, that is x comma y. I'll say return x, 2 parameters I'm using. Okay, so x slash y, okay, x is divided by y basically. Okay, so again print def, I have to pass the parameters 10 comma, yes, okay, done, 0. So now let's run and check. Okay, let me come to the window. Okay, now exit, let me exit. Okay, fine. So it is raising division by 0 error. Okay, because we have the 0 after the first index number. Okay, so if we will change the these parameters, so it will be, we will not get this kind of error. Now what if we have to use more than one inputs, then what we have to do, we simply are going to use the list. Okay, so let's see here, list 1 is equal to, we'll take the empty list first, so we have to take the empty list first, then we'll say list 1 is equal to args, okay, 1 colon, so all the parameters will store in list 1. Okay, yes, args 1 colon, then obviously we have to use for loop here, for I in list 1 colon, and after that I have to say for I in list 1. Okay, then if I is equal to 0, then return. Okay, so this is how we can use it. After that, okay, done. Let me uncomment this. I need for I in list 1, I will say, okay, let me do the indentations. Okay, great. So it's done. Let me clear the window so that we can easily find out our output. So it is raising an error, division by 0. Okay, so for that reason, what we are going to do, we will simply replace the 0 with 5 and okay, great. So let's run and have the output 511. Okay, so I hope this much is clear to you what we have done. What we have done, so we have used, if we can give any number of inputs. If first input can be 0, and if first input can be 0, then other should be greater than 0. Okay, if using more than inputs. So for that, that's why we have used one colon. Okay, list 1 is equal to args 1 colon. All the parameters from index 1 will be stored in the list 1. Okay, I hope this concept is clear to you. Okay, few things we have revised also from the previous videos. So thank you. See you in the next video.